American tournament. Today we have a pretty special one. This one's going to be between two of the higher ranked players here in this tournament. Pez versus xootynator is going to be this matchup, and a very interesting one at that, because these two players do share a lot of similar skill sets. So I am very excited to see how these two players end up going against each other. We are already getting into this one. Roles have come through. Does look like Pez wins the role and is going to opt for the second pick here, and maybe going to be the first ban, so we will see what she wants to go with here. First spam from Zooty is going to be the double time 3. Going to be getting rid of that one here. Makes a little bit of sense. Pez is notoriously one of the better double time players in this tournament. And that hidden 2 ban against Zooty also makes a lot of sense. Zooty being one of the best hidden players in North America, and yeah, gonna be seeing a hidden 3 ban from Zooty as well, so also respecting Pez on that hidden is gonna be making a little bit of sense here from these bans. But as far as another ban goes here from Pez, I'm not really sure what he wants to go. I don't think we're gonna see another hidden ban come through. I think it's probably going to be something in the Nomad pool, maybe something like the Nomad 4 potentially. We'll see. Oh, wait, oh no, excuse me. It's a hidden 3 pick. Oh my goodness. Okay. I was completely taken aback there. That's my fault. I am just waking up literally less than 10 minutes ago, so my mistake on that one. It's hidden 3 pick. This makes so much more sense. I was a little bit confused, thinking this was a ban from City, but no, this makes so much sense. Hidden 3 here is gonna be the one, and this is gonna be some tech here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is gonna be something that both of these players are pretty comfortable with playing. I did mention it already that these two players have very overlapping skill sets, so are finally going to be seeing that SS drop from Pez here, but still going to be leading on the accuracy into this first PI section. And both players pretty strong, as Pez is going to be the first one to fall. Going to drop on that FC, so that's going to give xootynator a little bit of a score lead for the time being. Holding on to that combo is xootynator. Pez just got back to this pretty good recovery, and with xootynator dropping now, that is going to give Pez an opening to bring the score lead back. It's only 16,000. It's very doable for this much map remaining. It's going to be dropping going into this next difficult section, and we're going to trade. Excuse me, that was a Bancho miss from Pez, so that isn't going to be stopping that score lead. It's actually going to switch back over for Pez as xootynator's continuing to find misses, and yeah, this is looking really good for Pez here. Potentially going to be a break point to start this one off. Coming through into the break section is going to have the combo here, still on the S rank. It was just a singular slider break, I believe, for Pez. So yeah, this is looking really scary for Zooty. Gonna need to see a complete chain miss here from Pez, and Zooty's gonna have to lock in here for the rest of this one, or else this play is gonna go the way of Pez, and gonna be a break point at that. we go, getting into the second PI. Only about a third of the map remaining, and there goes the break on Pez. That is an actual break this time, not going to be a Bancho one. So that's the opening that Zooty needs, but 80,000 points is going to be pretty difficult to bring back. Zooty essentially has to FC the remainder of this map, which she definitely can do, but it's going to be very difficult given how hard this map is. And so far it's looking pretty good. These misses from Pez is only helping out Zooty here, and only a quarter of the map remaining. There's still plenty of time, but gonna have to continue to hold on to this combo for as long as she possibly can. 40,000 points now. We keep going. It dips below 40,000 for the first time here. These misses from Pez are all but helping out Zooty coming into the final section of the map. As she hits the accelerating stream, there's a little bit more to go and she can get this one. But she misses right before the very end, and Pez now on the 400 combo recovery is going to keep her at bay, and that's going to be a point for Pez, I think. Chain miss from Zooty almost certainly solidifying this point here for Pez. And what an insanely close point that is at that. Start this one off for the break point. 4x miss from Pez, 7 miss from Zooty. Very unfortunate that it did not go her way on her own pick, but still such an insane performance from both of these two players. And yeah, I mean, Pez gonna be starting this one off with a break point, gonna go right into the double time 2 as well. So looking to go right into tapping here. Try to abuse the fact that Zooty isn't necessarily known as a tapping player. Not that she can't play these tapping maps, but it is going to be a little bit difficult here for her, I do think, on this double time. Chile chests are coming out. We're going to get into map number 2. Pez looking to consolidate on this breakpoint that he has embedded himself here to start this one off. And yeah, I mean, we can already tell accuracy is pretty heavily favoring Pez. Despite that miss, it's still going to be heavily in favor of Pez for the time being. Zooty is pretty much just combo gaming at this point, but combo game can win you the point as long as you can hold on to it. So 22,000 points is going to be the separating factor here. As we get into the first TI section, going to be a bit more jumps here, a little bit less tapping in this section. Both players are hitting these bursts, and Zooty finally going to drop, and yeah, being at that 88% accuracy is just not going to help her out here. So that score lead is going to start to really climb now for Pez, despite having the earlier miss. Maybe finding yet another break. Let's get traded out by Pez, but the accuracy's just not there for xootynator. I can't see a world where she is able to bring this one back at 88 for NAT versus 98. This is almost certainly going to be the consolidation on the breakpoint for Pez. Trades will always benefit the player who is in the lead, and even much more so when the accuracy disparity is what it is here. And this is such a good pick from Pez, really just showing the strengths of Pez that xootynator does not quite have for herself. So What a dominant way to get that consolidation on the breakpoint as well for Pez. Really just under 300,000 here. Actually, almost exactly 300,000 with the way that Pez was spending there. Very insane score here, and 2-0 very quickly off that consolidated breakpoint. So xootynator, again, not really known as one of the tapping players of North America, so not really that surprising that she struggled a little bit on that pick, but that's gonna be all right because she's got her next one here, and it's gonna be the hidden one. Really just sticking with her comfort here, despite losing out on the hidden 3 just barely. Still gonna be something that xootynator can shine on here in this hidden one. LHF's already coming through here. And yeah, we're gonna get into map number 3. xootynator looking to get on the board here. Gonna need to put a little bit of a stop to Pez. And it is gonna be a first miss from Pez here on this Amy hidden 1 pick. Thankfully, this one is on the longer side, just a little bit over 3 minutes, so not going to matter too much with that early miss, but for the time being, that is going to give xootynator a score lead to work with here. And yeah, I mean, a completely different look here on this hidden 1 versus that double time 2 from xootynator. The SS rank, right, coming off of the 88% on the DP2. It does end up dropping the SS, but not going to be that big of a deal. This is where she shines. Pez gonna need to see a couple more mistakes come out from Zooty here in order to get back into this one right now, because 30,000 points might not seem like that much, but in a 1v1 setting, that's kind of difficult to bring back. You're gonna have to really lock in. And luckily, Zooty is dropping accuracy, so any combo break from either of these two players can really heavily shift the score lead one way or the other, but both players hitting the massive jumps before this next pause section is really impressive, but Zooty holding on to the score lead off that early miss from Pez. The accuracy is actually favoring Pez, but just ever so slightly, so it's going to come down to this final half of the map here. And really gonna have to hold on to both of their nerves and really need to lock in for the rest of this map. Calm before the storm, and we're getting into some more of these big jumps. Both players are gonna hit it going into the second PI, or the second solo section, I should say. Pez gonna be finding the next miss, and yeah, that's almost certainly gonna solidify this point for Zooty. Gonna just start to climb rapidly now as she's still holding onto the full combo, with Pez finding yet another miss in this solo section, and yeah, Zooty just looks so locked in, so comfortable on this pick. Already cresting over a 1.1k combo, and yeah, now it's just a matter of, is she going to FC? The point is hers, it's just all eyes on her to get this full combo. Here we go, into the final section. Some of the biggest jumps here. And she hits them all. xootynator gonna be putting up her first point on the board with a full combo. 8x100s. And yeah, I mean, Zooty really just proving that she is one of the best hidden players in the North American continent. And really looking so comfortable on that, but we're going right into more tapping here. the Nomad 5 from Pez, and yeah, this one is a little bit concerning given that the BT2 was a lower BPM than this. This is potentially a little bit bad here for Zooty. I do think this one looks pretty good on paper for Pez, but we'll see. It's a different style of map. That DT2 was AR 10.3, so that also plays a pretty big factor, especially for players who aren't necessarily double time aficionados like xootynator is not. So, but we will see as we get into map number 4 here. Zooty gonna have to get back this break point at some point. I'm not sure if it's gonna be on this pick or a later one, but for the time being, Pez is gonna be outspinning her ever so slightly. So, and the spinner doesn't really matter because the map is gonna be more of this shred at the 250 BPM. It's gonna be one of the longest maps in this week's pool at that, coming in at 4 minutes. And yes, there are some downtime sections in the song, but for the most part, this is going to be what we are seeing here. And yeah, xootynator going to be first of all. I was going to say accuracy is looking pretty good for xootynator compared to double time too, but dropping the combo is not going to help her out, especially with these chain misses as the tapping gets more and more intensive here. And Pez just looking so comfortable on this style of map. Zooty's still struggling with the accuracy. Now it's dropped down to 91%. And the shred just continues here. It's going to be 3 more minutes of this shred, and Zooty just not quite able to get it done here. Pez, with this pick strategy going into these heavy tapping picks versus xootynator, it makes so much sense and really just doing well to do so, but holding on to this FC halfway through the map. Zooty does have a sizable recovery combo, but recovery is really not going to matter unless Pez finds a miss, and even then, the accuracy is just not there to bring that score back. It's 300,000 points almost now. And yeah, I mean, halfway through the map, 300,000 points is pretty much not possible to bring back. It's gonna be another point on the board for Pez. Crazy that I'm gonna be deciding that here this early on into this pick, but I mean, it's so dominant of a performance here from Pez, already over 2,000 combo. Does end up dropping the combo. I was checking something on my other monitor, so I didn't see that. But still holding on to 99.2% accuracy and just looking so comfortable, so dominant here on this Nomad 5 pick. But luckily for Zooty, Pez is running dry on these high BPM tapping heavy picks, so is not going to matter too much, but Pez gonna be going up 3-1 right now and looking so dominant too at that. There's 25 100s, 1x miss on this No Mob 5 versus 352 100s and 8 misses from Zooty, who still is able to get an 1800 combo, but yeah, that accuracy disparity is so huge. So very, very impressive score from Pez. Also, pretty impressive comboing from xootynator, despite not being known as a tapping player. So very solid from her. Yeah, the double time 2 has already been picked, and now we've got that No Mod 5 picked away. So there's gonna be, I don't think any other maps that I'm looking at here off the top of my head that Pez can really abuse speed on, so. Again, Zooty is out of these hidden picks, so we're gonna have to lean into these No Mod picks as we do see her go into the No Mod 4. That hidden bit of an edge here, actually, as if both players are able to pull on through the rest of the map, Pez will actually come on top because of this significant combo advantage that he has. Both players hitting the big jumps before this next PI section. No trip-ups from either player, and that 60,000 score lead has now slowed down to about 40,000 here. Pez is looking to bring it back the way of himself. players are hitting these jumps, and they do both hit them, so that is still going to be helping out Pez significantly to get this score lead back, but he's going to have to hold through in the solo section. Really just have 20,000 points. The player's hitting these massive jumps. And neither player missing going into this slowdown section. That is still going to be 50,000 points in favor of Zooty, but for how much longer? If Pez is able to hold on, this is going to go the way of Pez. $9,000 points. 8,000. Coming into the final section of the map, but Pez misses! And Zooty holds, and that's going to completely shut down that chance of Pez getting the score back. Not going to happen. Zooty going to be holding on to this one. A much needed point for her as well. Yes, it is her own pick, but if that went the way of Pez, then things were going to get really dicey for her. So very important that Zooty holds here. Does end up dropping combo right at the very end. Not going to be the full combo anyway, because she did have the earlier miss, but still very, very important for her to get that point. 580,000 versus 490,000 again. This one is going to be close, but Pez looking a lot better on the Snowman one versus the Hidden one. So really, really scary situation for Zooty, and fortunately for her, it ended up working out. Yeah, that score lead coming down to, I think it was almost 5,000 when Pez ended up finding that break at the very end. It was very, very scary, but we are going to get into a little bit of a switch up here from Pez, going into the Nomad 6. Fucking Symphony. This is the older map here. He has 7 AR8, so maybe a precision pick here in the Nomad pool. And also the longest map in the Nomad pool, 5 minutes in length. So gonna be here for a little bit, but both players missing on the first slider. It is a bit jarring of a slider. The reverse, that is, I think it's like 4x speed on there, but Zooty already finding multiple misses here in the beginning section does not bode well for her. Gonna be finding another miss on the back and forth section, though a little bit of an overlap, and here we go into some of the reverse sliders, and yeah, Zooty's still struggling to hold on to combo. Definitely not as practiced on this as Pez is, and 40,000 points with this long of a map is such a huge score advantage for Pez this early on. He really needs to recover here. It's gonna get very bad for her pretty quickly. In fact, it might already be too much for her to do right now, just given how she's been looking this early on. Quarter of the map, though. 3 quarters remaining. I mean, there's always time to recover. It might just be a little bit of a jarring situation for her. Coming into this weird, awkward CS7 AR8 map when they haven't played anything similar to that yet this far. But it's going to be Pez dropping on that recovery combo. Wasn't the FT, of course, missed on the very first slider, but Zooty does trade it, so those trades will always benefit the player if the score advantage, and 100,000 points is the score advantage for Pez. Zooty just misreading some of these patterns. Really just not as comfortable on this as Pez is, but Pez is also going to be finding some misses of his own, so that is going to help out Zooty a little bit, but I am very fearful for her because we're coming into the halfway mark of this map, and 130,000 points is so much to be able to get back, especially when you don't seem that confident on a pick like this one, so gonna be very tough for her to get this one, and honestly, this is probably just going to be a point for Pez as they find a miss on the reverse slider. A little bit upset with himself, actually doing a little bit of upset cursor dancing, but really not gonna matter that much. You are up 100,000 points, Pez. It's gonna be alright. It's 150,000 points and almost 6.5% accuracy, so like, it's gonna be okay, Pez. No need to tilt over some silly misses. You are doing more than enough right now to keep xootynator at bay. Both players hitting that clumped stream section. Really gonna be missing on the little wiggle back and forth triples, so that was a bit of an opening for her to get back into this one, but I do think now with her finding that miss into this final quarter of the map remaining, it's gonna be too much for her to handle, especially with these continual miss reads. This is going to be a 4th point on the board for Pez. Both players missing on the fast sliders. It's the slider ticks right in the middle. If you're not aiming it perfectly, you're just gonna miss. And yeah, this is Shotgun Symphony. Excuse me. This is what the map is known for. These particularly brutal sliders that just catch players off guard, and it doesn't matter for Pez. You've got almost 200,000 points in score lead here, and very handily going to be winning the 4th point for himself. But Ziggy needs to answer back and needs to get a break point of her own if we want to tie this match back up. Both of Zooty's points, well, actually, one of Zooty's points has been pretty decisive. The other one was very close, so is going to have to be a pretty huge performance from xootynator here, I think, on her next pick, and I'm not really sure what she wants to go with next either. It could be something like the Nomad 3. I don't think we're going to see her go into the Hard Rocks, and yeah, if that's the case, it's just going to be Nomad 3. Otherwise, it could be Hard Rock 1. We're actually gonna see Hard Rock 2. Is a little bit interesting, just given how Pez looked on this Shotgun Symphony, but it's a completely different style of map, despite it still being precision in the Hard Rock 2. Oh, excuse me, the Nomad 3 is banned by Pez. I completely forgot about that. Okay. So yeah, cannot pick the Nomad 3. Hard Rock 2 is the only option. Zooty is not going to be picking that Nomad 2 for sure. That makes so much more sense. What also makes sense is Zooty picking Hatsune Miku. A known Hatsune Miku fan. It'd be surprising if she didn't pick this had I known that this was a Hatsune Miku song, so yeah, GLHFs are through here for these two players, and we're gonna get into map number 7. xootynator gonna have to start racking up some points of her own if she wants to put a stop to the score lead that Pez has gotten for himself. It's gonna be kind of a linear precision hard rock pick here. The style of map definitely does favor Zooty a little bit, I would have to say. any raw aim pick always favors Zooty in my opinion, but right now both players are holding on to the SSs, so Pez definitely no stranger to this style of map. In the first PI section, still holding strong to these SS ranks. And so impressive for these two players, still holding on to the full combos, but Pez is going to be the first one to drop the SS. It's been quite a while since I've seen the score bar be just complete dead even for as long as it was, but that's going to be from xootynator, actually the first miss in this map, and that's huge score swing for Pez now, as holding onto that full combo despite dropping the SS. The FC is going to be a lot more impactful than dropping that combo from xootynator, so that's going to give Pez a pretty sizable score advantage here, and actually almost gonna be too big of a score advantage for Zooty to claw back. We're gonna need to see a miss from Pez like right now, or else Zooty is out of this one. Holding through into the second PI section are both players. That score lead, what was once only 200, is now 150,000, so I'm still continuing to climb as Pez continues to hold on to this FC, but does finally miss on the middle note in the screen, so that is the opening that Zooty needed. There's about a third of the map remaining, and a little bit of time here, downtime for this one, so actually going to take up a pretty significant chunk of that remaining time, but is there going to be enough time for Zooty? She's on 340 recovery right now. That is sizable enough, I do think, to bring the score back, but it's going to be close. Gonna have to hold on all the way through until the very end is xootynator, as the score lead is slowly clawing back her way. And that miss from Pez is going to help her out pretty significantly. That's going to completely reset his combo, so allow that score lead to start swinging even more heavily. The recovery from Pez was helping to keep that score lead from going back as quick as it is now, but 60,000 points from what was 150,000, it was looking like it was going to be too much for her to do, but now we're down to 50,000 points. Going to have to continue to hold on through into this final section of the map. Only a sliver of the map remaining, and hitting one of the harder jump patterns, hitting the entire stream despite the accuracy drop, that gives a little bit of score back over the way of Pez as we get into the final few nodes of this map, and now 15,000 points, and that's not enough for xootynator to get that one back. A break point from Pez and a match point at that. Just not enough for xootynator. It was looking so good, but that accuracy drop on that final stream, it solidified to the point for Pez. And now xootynator, down 3 points here, is going to have to win every single map from here on out. And it's going to have to start with Pez's potentially final pick of Hard Rock 3. As Julie just come out, Pez on match point. Everything on the line for these two players right now, especially for Zooty, who would prefer to stay in the winner's bracket. If I'm not mistaken, this is a winner's bracket match. Not going to be the end of the world if she ends up losing here, as we do see a very early miss from xootynator on the beginning patterns of this map. So, going to give a pretty alright score advantage for Pez, 30,000 points. Continuing to climb as the accuracy disparity is looking pretty huge, especially with another miss from xootynator here going into the first PI section. Is going to give Pez a lot more wiggle room to work with, and this one's a lot shorter map than what we had been seeing in some of the previous picks, so still holding onto that FC is Pez, and looking so comfortable right now on that 99.8% accuracy, only just dropping the SS. 20,000 points score lead now in favor of Pez, and Yeah, we're gonna have to see some misses come through from Pez if Zooty wants a way back into this. Otherwise, she's going to drop into the losers bracket. Still holding on to this FC halfway through the map. Zooty's on a very sizable recovery right now himself, but there's just no misses coming through from Pez, and the accuracy looks so good as well. And Zooty dropping that combo is so bad for her. Pez is still holding onto this FC and just looking so good into this finger control section here. And I think it's very safe to say this is going to be the final nail in the coffin, as Pez is going to close this one out 6-2, knocking the previous year's North American Tournament winner into the losers bracket here in the quarterfinals. A GG, well played to both of these players. And this is going to be able to pull through with an FP of his own. We've already seen one FP in this match on the hidden one from Zooty. Oh no, but can't quite hit the triple pattern there. Unfortunately, right at the very end. So not going to be the full combo, but still one of the craziest scores that we have seen so far on this Hard Rock 3 in this weekend. And I mean, yeah, Pez moving forward in the winners bracket. Unfortunately, Zooty will have to drop down to the losers bracket this early on, but she has proven herself by winning this tournament once before last year, so definitely not going to be out of the woods yet for Zooty. Definitely has a shot at bringing it back. Just has to do it through the losers bracket, and for Pez, a very much deserved win here. Going to be moving forward in this winners bracket, and that's going to do it for us for right now. I do believe that there are a couple more matches later today. Going to be starting at 21 UTC. That's going to be between Yurku and Flames here. And then later on at 0 UTC, we're going to have Zimby versus Deca 10. And then a couple more matches later into the night. 2 UTC is going to be Swick versus Rykit. And 4:30 UTC is Boshiman versus Renz. So stay tuned in the Discord for the stream announcements. 21 UTC is going to be your next match. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and take care.